Yo, what is going on, guys? Renegade here, coming at you with a brand new video, and today you guys are going to be watching an AR competitive Call of Duty class setup. So before we start this video, I just wanted to thank you guys for the amazing support that you guys have been giving me. Right now I'm at 38 subscribers and I'm growing a lot faster than my other channel was, so this is exactly what I wanted when I started this channel, and I'm so happy that I did. So again, thank you guys. It seemed like you guys did enjoy the best SMG class setup, so I'm continuing out with this. I'm gonna do the ARs this episode, and let's get started. So for the first primary class that most people use, most people you're gonna see running the M8. There's no question about it. This gun is absolutely ridiculous and is the best AR when it comes to competitive. Um, Usually, this is all preference. This part, I have two teammates. They both like to run the M8. One uses reflex and one uses elo. So again, it's just preference. For my preference, I think elo is better for mobility and vision, just because that top part isn't cutting off anything, and I just feel like my accuracy is better when I'm moving around. So I like elo a lot. Next attachment I would and is ridiculously important, and I'll tell you why, is stock. So what stock basis it basically does is it lets you move faster when you're aiming down sights, and this is super important because again, you want mobility with an AR, especially if there's a gun like the Vesper in the other team. When you have a gun like the Vesper, which is just ridiculous and you don't need much skill to use it, you need stock just so that you can adjust those like hyper aggressive crazy Vesper kids that just go around flying and shooting with their Vespers and getting lucky kills. So stock, I think, is very essential. And next, I think this is also preference, but I like to run long barrel. This is my favorite attachment in the whole gun. I just feel like I get a lot more one burst and just an easy 4 bullet kill. If you guys didn't know, the M8 shoots within 4 bullets, as you can see there. So after that, I like to use, as usual, the same perks. So I'm not really gonna go over this. If you guys do want a little description of how the perks work, then go to my other video and they'll basically explain everything. So I like running this, and then instead of having a nade or a flash, I like to run the RK5. If you're in UMGs, since the L car is banned, you use the RK5, but if the L car is allowed, 100% use it, just because it's basically a submachine gun in your secondary and you're not using overkill. So if you can use the L car for your secondary and you're running a class like this, definitely do it. I think it's a lot better than the RK5, but again, in UMGs you can't, so I like using the RK5. So to the next class, it's basically, hold on, let's copy this over to the next one. Let's just do that all right now. So you guys can do this, just make that simple class and then copy and paste everything. That's what I like to do. So we're gonna keep this class, and just to keep it so that you don't get naded with nade heavy teams, I've mentioned this before in the other video, have flak jacket. Also, when you have HCs that are crazy, they're just racking up those kills or score streaks, then flak jacket is definitely essential. This is also preference too, because some people just would like to risk it, but when I know that there's a team that knows nade spots and they're nade heavy, then I definitely put this class on all the time. But afterburner, again, is very important. Next, I like to take out the RK5 and then take out the first perk, which you didn't see at all in the submachine gun, I don't believe, except when it was an overkill class, which I technically still had a secondary. It was just another primary. But I like to add quick draw to this, and this, I think this is just like if you're an aggressive AR player, which, trust me, I've seen plenty before. There's plenty of aggressive AR players that really don't like posting up and trying to pre-aim things. Well, they like to pre-aim things, but they don't like to just kind of sit down in one spot like a passive ARs. So quick draw is definitely really important if you're one of those players. I highly suggest it if you are one of those players. So again, this class is great. Next, I like to run. Sometimes if you're also doing that, you can just take off that. If you want to keep your RK5, just take off long barrel. I think stock is a little bit more important than long barrel, just because again mobility, and you're gonna be using the stock a lot. I mean, you're gonna be using, what am I trying to say? Um, oh, you're gonna be put in a lot of situations where you need to be able to move your gun fast. So again, stock, and especially with quick draw, your mobility even increases even more. So that's great too. And again, just a normal class. You could change this perk, copy and paste it to another one, and put flak jacket. And then if you want to change the gun, I feel like the only other gun that's viable is, actually I think there's two, is the Man of War or Shiva. I think those are the only two, and I don't really think any of the other ones are really viable when it comes to competitive Call of Duty. Some people could argue that the ICR and HVK are. I don't think they are. I feel like they get outgunned by the Man of War and Shiva most of the time. But I'm going to do a Shiva class setup because I've seen people absolutely tearing people apart with this. And for the Shiva specifically, I like reflex a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I don't like being mobile with the Shiva, or I'm jumping a lot less, and reflex just feels like a better posted AR sight. So I definitely like that. One big thing about this gun is that you don't need grip or quick draw at all. What I would suggest for this is long barrel and stock. It's basically the exact same class setup as the M8. This is absolutely a wear and tear class setup. Sometimes people don't use the RK5 and they like to use a concussion or even a nade. I like to have the RK5 just because if I'm missing shots with this, which is very possible because my shot isn't the best with this gun, then I definitely want an RK5 just to have my backup. But yeah, this is, I'm gonna try using this a lot more. Maybe pull out a video of a UMG of me using it. And yeah, my team's recording today, so I might get that. Yeah, so these are basically all the AR classes that I like to use, the essentials, the ones that most people do use when it comes to competitive Call of Duty. So, hope you guys did enjoy. I hope this was informative and helpful. If it was, please leave a like. And if you guys really did enjoy, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And as usual, I will see you guys later. And one more thing, if you guys do want to see an unorthodox class setup, then keep on with the views, keep on with the sharing, and keep on with the likes. I'm really anticipating this video. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. If you guys do really want it, I will definitely do it. I'm just like, I love using unorthodox classes. It just gets me hype. My teammates don't really like it, so then I usually stay with like the plain class setups like this. But again, if you guys do want to see it and maybe even see UMG gameplays of it, then I'll definitely come out with that. Just again, just leave the support however you can. Maybe even dislike the video if you didn't like it. Put down a tip in the comments if that will be what you guys support with. It all helps. It's all appreciated. And again, I will see you guys later.